your favorite pies?
Oh, that's it.
Mint and one. That just looks so good, and then I want to do and you want a both to go, right?
Yeah.
In the same box? Okay, thank you.
You guys for coming. Information right now is going to get a little bit strange, so you take it or leave it. We're going to go into weird territory, so just information, so push with it. I am Ivan Teller, and I am the ET. I'm going to go into details of that, but what I am is I can't pronounce this very well, but yin yellow. It's a type of gray, like the one you just saw. Positive gray. They were here during the first contact of during ancient Atlantis. So if you feel like you don't really feel here, chances are you're probably not from here at all. If you're born, I was born here, not, just jump off my ship. This is something around the lines of what is this? Just a gray, just they're positive, isn't it exactly the way it was. This is an ancient look. They've become more humanistic now over time through. That's a long story. We're going to go there. Where we're going right now, the Earth is going into fourth density right now. And we're going to a positive dimension. Of course, it's hard to see that with news and all the activity going on. Starvation, war, and all that. Especially in the news, they create stories to bring us down. The whole idea is to keep us at this low level. And the reason why we don't see other ETs is because they're at a higher level. They're at a fourth density positive level. And some can be at fourth density where they're more spiritual. They become very positive, that they can also be negative and kind of balance the two. So they don't they don't come down to our level. That's a little bit strange, but that's what this is all about. So where we're going is into a positive area, basically. We're moving from where we are, which is pretty low because we're kind of like in a grid. That's why it's like calling a sandstone. So we're going into so it's kind of hard to reach that point. So in their world, different ETs, they're so positive that they don't understand us because we're in such and down this kind of pit. One way to raise your vibration is with a vegetarian diet. Stay away from the news, television. I know you have negative people around you, so it's kind of hard to maneuver that. You can work with meditation. Yoga is another one. So you want to basically try to raise your vibration. Meditation, get away from that negativity eventually. Over time, it will start becoming more positive over the course of everything. So that's where we're headed in the fourth density. What this is about is we're heading to first contact in 2030 and 2026. Depending on, I like to bring up Sylvia Brown, but she was actually one of the New Age movement of psychics really brought up energy, because we were in a really pit for a long time. And the psychic world, a lot of it hated or, it's controversial, but it's actually raising the vibration of the world. So after 2012, for some reason why we're getting closer to this first contact. That's why ETs are talking to psychics more, channels. I can channel the energy of ETs, but I can't, they don't take over my body and speak through me. I haven't got to that level. I don't think I'm going to be at that level. But we're heading for a positive timeline. Of course, a little bit bumps into that road. Right now, I don't know if you heard about the kind of reptilian conspiracy by any chance that are sort of secretly running the world. We never really seen one. Well, they do run it, but there's, the reason they don't show themselves is because they're going to lose control of this place. Now, psychics have, Tony just picked up their energies. Like a puppet master, you don't show the puppet master during a show. You're not going to. That's the whole deal. Now, I'm going to go into detail of how they're connected to this place. Right now, they are real. It's very complicated. They hit the media. They hit the religion. Everything, schools. And it's not just them. Not just them. It's other negative entities. Now there are positive reptilians out there. I've channeled that. So there is done channelings with them, let's put it that way. But I might as well throw this out. I did a channeling with a reptilian. It's like a I always want to say dictator, but it's a diplomat, reptilian diplomat, and he told me I was going to pass life. I was a reptilian, like a higher-ranking reptilian. So I guess that's why I understand how they work. But they are underground. They're not going to show themselves. So it's just the way it's going. They're just like Illuminati. They're not going to show themselves. There's different rankings. You're going to see the strings of big corporations. You're never going to see the ones at the top. Zeta Grays, Roswell, the reason for our technology, Black Projects, all goes back to the Grays. They crashed in Roswell. They do exist. Right now they're monitoring us. I don't know if you ever heard a high pitched noise in your ear. No, that's actually them letting you know that they're, I guess they know who they know who hears it. A lot of them are observing right now. I don't think they're not, some are doing abductions, most of them aren't. I think there was a negative side to them for a long time, but now it's getting more positive. You know, they're hard to read. I can read a reptilian's energy. I'll go into that. But Grays, I don't get much from them. Okay, yeah, so we have right now reptilians, Grays, Nordics. Nordics is like our founders. I don't know if you're familiar with that. They're a type of Palladians are, the Nordics are part of Palladian. Nordics are just like us practically. And they were, you know, they kind of, in ancient times, they got like the green light to create the human race. Earth is an experiment.
Okay.
That was the positive Nordics there.
I'll be right here.
Now we have a negative. Just recently, I'm gonna go in, we have another talk in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna go more into the Nordics because they're not that well known. They're very negative, and they you ever heard of I think it's called Heaven's Gate? I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. Back in the late '90s, there was a cult, and they believed that the world was going to be recycled, and they committed suicide. The Nordics have something to do with it. They're also known as the tall blondes. They're very beautiful, but very, they're very, what's the word for it? They can just, they can woo their people, basically. They can just manipulate them. Because they're so beautiful and perfect looking, look like God, and it does. So and also I like to go into the Nordics also with they go after women because of looks, like in fashion magazines, and they make being skinny and being this certain look is where they want to be, and they put that thought in people's minds that you have to look like this. If you don't look like this, be demonic. They're behind a lot of that. There are not a lot of them here, but they're very I must have had like a past lives thing with them because I know a little bit about them, but it's not that well known. Reptilian agenda you hear most about. The Greys you hear about. The Nordics you don't hear very much about. There's other Palladians here I don't care much for us either. 2027. Take this or leave it. This might happen. We might have in 2026. We'll see more ETs making an appearance, making more. The chance they might make a contact with us, and during that, they're going to show themselves, and no, it's not an alien invasion. And there's a species called L. It's not very well known. I got this information from YouTube, of course. It's through a channel where that channel is ETs, and they caught them off guard too. They said they're going to crash the economy in 2027. There's going to be warnings before this to go out, leave the cities, go to the countryside, stay there for a long time, and basically the cities are going to crash the economy because it doesn't make any sense anyway, and basically it'd be like months while people are killing themselves or whatever. It's not going to be pretty, but basically we're going to go through it's a cycle. So I figure I might as well put this information out. It might happen, it might not. I feel that it's very probable what's going to happen. So if it's going to get weird around this time, but more people are going to wake up to that we're not all by ourselves in the world. There's a lot of strangers out there.
Well, let me ask you, can we start asking questions?
Yeah, that's
or
fine. I
should we
forgot
wait
about that.
until the end?
I forgot about that. I'll
Okay.
do that.
What's the purpose of blowing down the economy? What are they after?
But well, right now it doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you look at sweatshops, bringing our phones, most half the world is feeling hunger. I don't think after this, I don't think there's going to be hunger after that.
Yeah, but what's the purpose?
What's the
What are
purpose?
they after?
Well, what they say, it doesn't make it, it's not doable. They can't do anything with it. You know, it's beyond hard. Hell is like an ET, they're like, you know, you have God and you have hell's right above, you know, below that as a UFO doing their work on planets. They've done it before. You can do research on this. It's strange, but might as well. Basically, what you, it just basically.
Disclosure? Is that what 2027 is? Disclosure? Like
First contact.
disclosure of the ETs,
Yeah.
disclosure of the reptilians.
Yeah. Maybe mostly ET. I'm not sure about reptilians. We're probably gonna see.
Do you know anything about indigo?
Oh,
The
what?
star seeds, the indigos.
Yeah, a little bit. Star seeds. That's ones I remember. They're lives on other planets.
Right,
Star seeds. Yeah.
right. I think that, but, yeah,
Really?
yeah. But, do you know about Syrians, Sirius,
I know a little bit about them.
from the Orion Belt?
I know a little bit about them.
They're not all bad.
No.
Syrians are good.
Yeah.
Syrians.
Oh yeah, there's not a lot. There's always a positive, reptilian is a positive to them, and there's a little negative one. There's always a negative to every race. It's just the way it is.
They like our blood, from what I know, because this is what I gather, like all those movies about the vampires and stuff. That's really what them, because they can seduce you and they get high from more fear, the energy from the fear. It's like the strongest, powerful, like heroin.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they all bad? They're not all bad, you say?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No, none of them are. Yeah.
That's a good question. You said that we were coming into a positive time.
I know that.
But then
Talk
this
about
is
this.
negative, so I'm
I
confused.
know. I know. It's just. Well, I know. It's.
Can't all be love and light.
Exactly. I mean, I figure I'll put this out there. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but might as well put the information out there. And
So do you believe it's going to be positive?
I believe it's going to be positive. But basically, what it is, they'll give you warnings. That's what is it. They'll give you warnings. This is going to happen. We're here. Way the populated area is just. You'll be fine there. You're not going to starve to death there. You're not going to do that. And then they're going to just take the economy out somehow. I mean, I'm surprised it's working out. I don't think any of us really understand it. So.
Well, I think the idea of this disclosure, right, is the economy is not good and people are living, we live in fear, we live in unhappiness, it's a constant struggle, and I think the idea is we're raising our vibration, we are coming into fourth density, the economy needs to do something, right? It's kind of like we need a recheck, we need a reset. I think my understanding is that's our reset, right? Where we
Like a cleanup.
Like a cleanup.
Yeah, because if you're going.
Because the money doesn't make sense
Doesn't make
anyway. Our dollar can crash at any time. We're all, where do you invest your money? The stock market, gold? We're all afraid. Do we keep our money in banks? Do we bury it in the backyard?
People need
It's
to
like,
not be afraid.
right,
And I think that's
live
the
in
problem
fear.
of all the evil, because all those evil people from the Illuminati, they're afraid that they're gonna run out of whatever resources. It's all based on fear, so if all of us get together and we're not scared of anything anymore,
Yeah.
because we realize nothing really technically dies, like it's recycled basically, there's always gonna be more to go around, and stop hoarding, stop being afraid. That's what we need to do to lift up, I think, lift the whole frequency up as a whole. But if we're always afraid, like even if we're just afraid of like the powers that be, we can't be doing that, we can't be afraid.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna do their evil stuff, but we can't be afraid.
Well, yeah, that's basically our vibration. Our higher. There's going to be some casualties, but hopefully they just. Now we have a long time to go, about 12 years now, so we have some time between. Who knows? It might change around. It's hard to say. there's a change.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You're saying in 2027 there's gonna be casualties or whatever. Do you get these messages from, how do you know this?
I did a reading, well, I heard that they had a channel where that does the channeling with ET. They take over, trans channeling where ET takes over their body. They've talked to other species about it also. I'm basically just putting this information out. I did a reading on it also, and I feel around 2026 we're going to start seeing a lot of activity in the sky. And it's a probability. Nothing's ever set in stone, but it's very probable. So this is just information.
Right.
So I hate to not say anything about it.
Right.
And,
Now, does war come into play with that?
There's going to be war within the cities, basically. And, yeah.
I mean, what's going on in other countries, that I feel there's going to be a lot with that.
Yeah. So, it's not. Well, it's positive after that. I don't know. We'll just have to see what.
When everybody realizes they're gonna lose unless they stand up each other, they're gonna beat each other. That's when everything's gonna come together.
Yeah. And right now we have, slavery. Back in the, they told them that they were slaves, and now they don't tell us that we're slaves. Pretty much we are financial slavery. That's pretty much it. Get up, go to work, over and over and over, do the same thing over and over and over. So that's pretty much what we're in. Yeah, this is a favorable one. I've seen this there. Get a job, go to work, get married, have children, follow fashion, act normal, walk on pavement, watch TV, obey the law, save for old age, repeat, I am free. So that's been repeated so many times now. So this is about my awakening. This is my road. Around 31, I didn't know I was psychic. I went to a hypnotist. Started to, for reincarnation, went to hypnotist for negativity. Started seeing spirits. You should say I was psychic. I started reading people. It's like, I've always felt, spirit touches here and there. I always told me that. I always knew there's another side. I know I can read people, and this is just. And I didn't have much hope as for a teacher, so I kind of shut down for about 3 or 4 years. And then 2014 in January, so it's been a year now, my guide said you have to become a psychic, become a professional. So I didn't go very far. I found a meetup here in Tampa went to a psychic circle, went to the classes. The psychic circle, they said I can read, I'm a good reader. I said, okay, I can read, I don't need tarot cards, I don't need anything, I can do mediumship also. But I went through, learning about protection, and I didn't feel right that I was doing this. Didn't feel, I was like, no, I'm not into finding up a sign and all that. Before this, I was trying to become a writer, and so I went to that instead. Got a mentor for that, learned how to write, wrote fiction. This leads into what we're talking about hacker takes over the world, something along those lines. President of the United States is a Chinese takeover. As I was writing this fiction, I was writing it's like I want to write about Atlantis. It's like I want to have an astronaut during Atlantis kill a reptilian. It's like that's going to be great. This is all in my head, I'm thinking I didn't tell anybody about this. And I'm driving from Starbucks at night, radio's not on, and I hear this voice. It's kind of muffled, and it said, "You cannot defeat us." It's like that's a reptilian. Yeah, I know that's a reptilian. It's like, especially, it wasn't me thinking this. It came from over here. It's very strong, and so it's like, this fiction book thing's like, I'm going to write about fiction. I'm going to write about aliens and all that for fiction. It's like, no, what? That's not right. I might as well just talk about this for real, what's really going on. So I started channeling aliens, channeling their energy. I channeled Anunnaki. You've heard of the Anunnakis here. I channeled their energy, and I felt this huge energy, this vibrant energy. And they're very tall, and they're here. In a positive way, luckily. Of course, I was channeling reptilians, I didn't like that too much. They know when I'm channeling them. So I just read their energy. It's like, okay, I'm going to read a reptilian. I don't care what it says. And then I heard another voice in my car, of course, behind me say, "You think you're really smart?" It's like, and it came from back here. And I heard it. I mean, the radio wasn't on. It always talked to me in my car. It's very strange. So, you know, I figured a talk would be the best way to do this. You know, it sounds crazy, but that's where we're in. But it's like, this is nuts. I mean, hearing this, I mean, I know I'm not hearing this stuff on my own. Another thing is, what is normal? You don't try to be yourself in society. You know, if you're kind of Robin Williams type, you know, they'll put you on meds or something. But, you know, we have to be normal. We have to be quiet all the time. But if you're a little bit nuts, society won't accept you. That's another. Sometimes I try to act normal, but then I get bored, so they try to get me. So it's like, you know, especially the negativity and, you know, news and all that, try to bring you down. That's the whole idea is this bridge to bring us down, keep us negative. Because reptilian or other races are involved with us, because they know how powerful we are once we get to our, even without Fort Density, we're pretty powerful. That was the time of Atlantis. We're pretty powerful beings. They took care of that. They chopped all that down. So now we're just turned us into slaves, basically. That's where we are now. Yeah.
About Atlantis, from what I've researched about it, before that there was a place called Lemuria. You know about? That's where the more spiritual people came from. But then they got invaded by people from Mars or something. Yeah, and they were like more left-brain thinkers, logical, mathematical. Then they built Atlantis. So Atlantis was a mixture between some of the leftover survivors from Lemuria and then the new invaders that pretty much took over Atlantis, right? Okay, so you know.
We're going to go into that. We'll go into we'll get into that in a second. This is an interesting one. Of course, this is selling fear. Of course, you can't tell the Bible about that. You know, telling you you're going to hell, aliens don't exist, psychics don't exist, but you're going to go to hell if you don't do this or that. You know, so you're a bunch of sinners, and just, you know, I don't know why you're in here. That's another thing about reptilian control is that, first off, I'm going to put in, that sounds crazy, but they created this idea of this new Jesus. Jesus' teachings have been forgotten, basically. And that's what the metaphysical was. That's really Jesus' teachings of, you know, you're psychic, you can speak to, you know, the other side, you can speak to God. According to our new religion, you have to talk to the Pope. And I don't know if this sounds more crazy. You pray to Jesus now, you pray into like a reptilian because they control the idea. You know, it sounds crazy, but they control this, you know, because you're selling fear. You go to a church, imagine what kind of Catholic church you go to, it does feel evil, because who knows what they're doing in the basement. You know, of course in Europe, here it's, you know, yeah, there's scandals here also. But, this, yeah.
Okay, about Jesus saying, I understand what you're saying when you're praying to the idea of God is a vengeful God and all that. Yeah, you are basically praying to the reptilian's way of thinking, but I think this is from my study, from basically self-build. I think now, so I used to think that they drew a picture of him white like that because of racism or whatever. But now that I think about it, learning all this stuff about the star seeds, I think he was actually a Palladian. And my thoughts are, I think he was, he was teaching good things, but I think they twisted it.
Well, it's not God, it's Jesus. The God, they can't control that. You pray to God, it goes right to him. Jesus, they can control that idea, so.
Why would somebody be looking like that, born in that part of the world?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking he was maybe a Palladian. Because they were.
You might have a hybrid. It's different species.
The light color hair.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was different species of ETs. These, you know, like Buddha.
I think they might have been stars with Buddha
Right.
and all those things. Yeah.
This is, you know, religions, ET activity in the past. More activity, more. You know, ancient world, they're everywhere. ETs were all in the skies. the cultures, the Nazca lines. Of course, they didn't realize that until recently these are in Peru. You only see them from the sky.
And Ben, what exactly are those? What is that?
It's a spider.
Right, I know not the drawing. Nazca lines, what is that?
I don't think they really know what. I think it's still a mystery exactly what. It's a message of some sort, or
But is that a field or what is it?
yeah, it's a field. It's going nowhere.
Yeah, we had monkeys, we had monkeys in that part of the world.
They didn't.
But are those like crop circles?
Yeah, something like that. These lines can't go. These lines are like thousands of years old.
But those lines are crop circles?
I think actually they are lines. They're not something like crop. They're lines. They're not really. They're not crops.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the way the stone is, or you make a lining of what comes out. At least that's what I saw on Discovery.
Yeah, it seems like that's a spaceman. Can't see it very well. Spaceman. That's just alien information. Some of these are positive. Some of these are messages to other ETs, and some of these are negative messages, such as the end of
But what is that
Yeah.
message?
Well, we don't.
How do you know it's negative?
Well, I'm not saying that one is. But I'm saying
Oh,
that
okay.
crop circles. Some are saying like death to humanity. We don't deserve this planet. Some say that we have no idea what they're saying. Some are fake, and some aren't. Because there's no way. The weirdest ones are the alien ones. Another thing for skeptics. I want to put this up about the kangaroo. If you live in a world where there's no kangaroo, and I told you there's a kangaroo somewhere on your world, you're probably going to go crazy. I think that'll be one of the strangest animals. And that's unboxing. That's how it's funny. I mean, those are really strange.
Cute.
And basically what I'm getting at is that there are ETs connected to all these animals. So there's like an ET version of kangaroos, an ET version of that. I mean, we have a lot of strangeness here. And that's in the universe. And that's another reason why they don't show themselves. Elephants are slower. This one's funny. That's a funny one. But you tell people that these weird things, if you live in a world that this stuff doesn't exist, they're gonna think you're nuts. So talk about aliens and all that, that's funny. They're not gonna believe you. Here's the sighting in Vero Beach. This is recently. These are dancing around for a while.
Do you know what ships those are?
They say it was like the gold. There's like a species called the Goldens.
Is that a red light? Because I can't tell.
Oh, these look like suns. Here you can't see that. They look like suns.
Because my neighbor saw a red one above my house.
That's
Like just sitting there, like a red one.
But a
It
light?
wasn't blinking, it was just glowing. And I was right on my way home and I dismissed it. Oh man, I've always wanted to see one. Like I've seen them when I'm asleep, the red glowing when I'm asleep. Yeah, but I've never seen it like in this density. But my neighbor did. Now they're telling everybody I'm an alien.
Yeah,
I'm alone
crazy.
here.
Yeah. This is Phoenix Lights during 1997. This is the yin yell that was causing that. The lights were going off throughout the city. It was all over in the news, and even the mayor finally admitted that they couldn't really explain it. This is Roswell. We're leading up to. So basically, this is all this proof of what's going on. Of course, it's all from out. Illuminati structure. Right now, this is way I look at it is that this is up here is the mystery. Down here's all the big corporations, oil, banks, you name it. Rockefellers, Rothschild, and going on. The ones that are known. These are kind of like the minions. Of course, they're all rich millionaires, billionaires. Up here is the mystery. They're the ones that control everything. They say there's 13 families of the Illuminati. I'll go into that later. This up here is not known at all. It's like a mystery race. Really quiet, very, they don't want you to know who they are. They're like right with the reptilians. They're like friends. Sometimes they're not even on this planet. Very evil. A lot of conspiracy theorists, they say they can prove all of this. Corporations that run everything, that control us, make us into slavery, but they never really point the finger at who's actually doing it. because they don't really know. So they're really not proving anything. This is the, you know, the puppeteers, the puppet master. You don't see puppeteers here, but it's a puppet show for us. Mainstream media puppet show, religion puppet show. Not sure if you're familiar with this. A photographer snuck into a party in the 1960s, and they started taking pictures. This is a journalist. They were wearing all these strange costumes. Didn't know who they were, like anchors or something like that. It's very strange party. And I don't know if you're ever familiar with the movie Eyes Wide Shut. And I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's about, the movie doesn't make any sense, but Tom Cruise goes to a party, all these people, you know, uninvited, and they're all wearing weird costumes, not like that, but they're all masked, they don't know who they are. And they're pretty deadly, basically. You know, they kicked them out, they went on there. They said they might kill them, maybe, for being there, and they're doing. So this is the evidence of that. They do a lot of these rituals, basically. This is a kind of a soft, you know, this is a kind of, but they have a lot of, they have bizarre parties, a lot of, he has a chair on his head. So just, Illuminati have a different way of looking at things. They have bizarre world. This is the Bohemian Grove. This is done in, I think it's in June, in the summertime in California. All the most powerful people in the world get, not all of them, but Nixon was there, Reagan, they all get together, plan our demise or something like that. It's very strange. The media doesn't talk about it at all. Here's an old picture. A bunch of old pictures came out. There's Reagan. There's Nixon. This is I don't know who that is. So this is the Bohemian Grove's proof that they're actually doing this. And it's like the media covers nothing. And they have rituals at the end. Well, a show at least. Conspiracy theorists. Alex Jones broke in around the 1990s. And video, they're like sacrificing a kid. They're not really, but it's still very strange. It's all men at this party too.
Alex Jones, the guy
Conspiracy theorist?
Yeah.
Yeah, he snuck in on.
Oh, those are his pictures.
That's his picture. The other ones aren't, but that's his picture. It's like, this is really weird. It's all a bunch of men. They're all, you know, they're all having strange meetings, and they're having this at the end. The media covers none of this. Of course, this is like that Eyes Wide Shut thing I was telling you about. This is kind of something around that. They're all wearing strange clothing, you know, they're just having some very strange secret meeting. The Bilderberg group, in like 2006 wasn't, well, it started about 1954. Some of the world's most powerful people get together, and for like a weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, get together and have a meeting. The media covers nothing. 2006, they had a small protest. And news has been leaking about it. The West Secret Power Group, Bilderberg Group. That's David Rockefeller. He's kind of like, you know, he does their dirty work, but he's not. He's kind of low in the totem pole, but he makes things happen. Ottawa, Canada. They report. This is a major newspaper reported on. You know, the world's elite slip into a town for a secret meeting. Media covers nothing. So why is all like the Washington Post, the big companies, they all get together, some of the CEOs, executives get together, have a meeting, nobody knows what's going on. That's Alex Jones. You know, he bullhorns them, we know that you are evil. You know, he's all over. During 2006, there was only like maybe 20 people protesting it. During, recently, this was a couple years ago, or when this was, but yeah, now thousands show up for protests. Yeah, in Virginia, they protest it, and media still does not cover it. If they do, they kind of say, oh, it's no big deal, it's just a bunch of rich guys getting together. That's very strange. Ben Bernanke's been to one, they got a picture of him. Of course, he's at Hillsdale News now. There's another story about Obama before, 2008, before he got elected, when Clinton and him were like, you know, neck and neck, and he disappeared and this Bilderberg group was in town, was in Virginia. So they're thinking he went to this meeting, and they both went to the meeting, and they figured out who was going to be running for president. And basically for a president, you have to do what. If you do it, you tell it. If he does what he's told, he's fine. He can go play golf. He can spend all our money and do whatever. But as soon as he starts going against what he's being told, something like JFK will happen. Something around those lines, like Nixon. They're saying conspiracy. They're running everything. Not everything, but they are involved in a lot of things.
I have a question about the reptilians that you said are not banned. Are they mostly female? Because from what I gathered from all on the internet and stuff, they said that the men, and they're very they're an ego-oriented race, that they're like very competitive, like they're in sports a lot and stuff like that. But they say the men don't respect their women, so I'm guessing maybe most of the good diplomatic are females.
I think there are males that are. They're different. There's like 5 species of reptilian. There's Alpha Draconians. Let me go through that. Alpha Draconians are the ones that came here in ancient times. There's called the Orion group. It's not all of Orion, just the Orion group. That's reptilians. They're the negative ones that are here causing havoc for us. There are the 3 other groups that are positive. They don't want to do anything to us. They're learning from us. They're male and female. Maybe with Alpha Draconians, it might be more female.
Mm-hmm.
Those might be more friendly.
Those have wings, don't they?
Yeah, they do. So, I haven't seen that. But yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
They're more powerful too.
Female?
They work with the pecking order. So with the pecking order, they're like up there, the draconian.
They're trying to come into it.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, definitely. But as they said, they can't be defeated. Why is this happening? Why do we have what's with it? It's conspiracy, reptilians, Illuminati, what's the deal with all that? During the beginning of Earth, ancient times, I've done readings on this. It's like, what I get is that they brought the, Alpha Draconians. They landed here, they created the dinosaurs. They said, this is our place. Don't come here, don't mess with it. This is our territory, our planet's not so great. We don't really care much for it that much. So that kind of, the ET, like what I call it, the ET-UN, the universe, the galactic, the light, call it the ET-UN. They've never seen this before. A lot of what the reptilians are doing here, they're like taking over us and all that. They've never seen them do this before. So them coming here, there was an ET war in the beginning of ancient times, but small ones. When the dinosaurs were wiped out, that was a natural occurrence. That wasn't ET intervention at all. When man started being created, then the reptilians started moving in, wiping out civilizations. Human, it might have been destroyed 3 times. Good chances that. They lost the war, and they go into Atlantis. This comes in mind. There's kind of an interesting story that when they created man, or Nordics created man, or whoever, the other ETs came and started messing with us in a positive way and helped us with our psychic power. And we're like 22 different species in one. That's why we're so powerful. I'm not going to go into negative yet, but positive. We're different species because this world's different than other planets. So they found it interesting. They were learning a lot here. The first human beings, if I gather right, they were in like if they were in 4th density maybe in the beginning, but they went to say, we're going to go to sleep. We're going to go into 3rd density. Be here for us and to wake us up. We're going to go in and live this, live this experience because they're learning faster here and do other planets. Learn faster in 3rd density than 4th. You don't learn as much because 3rd, we're getting hit with this and that, and 4th, you're more of a spiritual being. So right now we're in a wake up phase. To wake up, not alone in the universe, but during Atlantis, we went to sleep. We're still a high mind, very intelligent, very spiritual, very psychic during the time of Atlantis, and that's when we had first contact with the Yin you know, because they were such a positive. I'm not going to go to the other speeches around the world. I'm just going to go on Atlantis. Lemuria, I believe Lemuria was actually after Atlantis. When Atlantis started to go sour, a lot of them went to Lemuria. And Martians, yeah, that's definitely Martians can't. Yeah, there's.
So it was that reversed.
Yeah, but Atlantis was still around during Lemuria. And they say Atlantis was around for 1,000 years. Everything was great at first. They gave them technology. Other ETs came here, and you know everything was just bliss at the beginning. Atlantis, where it is at the Mediterranean, or Crete. Have you heard of Santorini, the volcano? When it exploded, it took Atlantis down. So I did a reading on this. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. Other channelers have said it's in the Mediterranean. It wasn't outside. It wasn't in the Atlantic Ocean. This is something about how it was. It has a circular, something around those lines. Doesn't really matter what it looks like. Everything was bliss at the beginning. They had technology. They had an army, but it was just for defense. You know, everything was nice. Anunnaki. I'm not exactly sure how they look, but from what I gather, they give reptilians, Alpha Draconians, ideas of how to manipulate us. When they go slave race, they can shapeshift to human form. Anunnaki, I think they say we're Anunnaki now because we've been so manipulated by them. But during Atlantis, let's put it this way: I got two stories. They have Anunnaki came in Atlantis as a human, started saying, you know, you have all this power. You know, people are going to try to take your power away. Don't you want to start building your army and attacking other countries? You know, don't you want this power for yourself? So that's when they started corrupting them. The Draconians, you know, they're reptilians. They're ugly. To us, they're ugly. And so they became, you know, they developed a psychic. I don't think they use technology. These are advanced beings. They became human. They can't hold it forever. So I don't think Bush is a reptilian for, you know, he's going to switch and become this big green monster. But they can hold the look for long enough. You come in town, start, you know, putting ideas in your head. You know, they start corrupting you little by little. That's why they don't have much faith in us. That's why they don't care much for us, because we fell for all their lies, basically. So I think it was two groups. Anunnaki was in there, and because of all their power, they wanted to take it all away. They wanted to take over this place. A great place. Atlantis is out there high. So why not bring them down? So this is kind of like the snake taking over. You know, slowly, very slowly, everybody's high, everybody's having a great life, and they slowly throw in negative ideas and start bringing everybody down. And obviously they didn't see this coming. They were kind of naive to it. Atlantis turned into like a Nazi Germany during the dark times. It's funny how Nazis took their ideas from the Atlanteans. Atlantis was very, you know, they had slaves during dark times. These are weapons on people. They're super weapons. It wasn't pretty. I think they damaged the earth also, weaponry. You know, Lemuria, a lot of the spiritual psychics went to Lemuria. And after that went down, yeah, the Martians that stepped up. A lot of them probably migrated to what you call Hawaii. Yeah.
About the amnesia that was given to basically humans. They were sent down in vortexes, right? From the whatever, I don't know which one you said is first. Oh yeah. No, Lemuria was after. You said. Okay, so the vortexes, because that's my first memory, you know, as a kid, like of a storm and losing everything, but it just can't be explained.
I mean, after Atlantis, we all kind of were at this high, and then we just kind of shut down after that. After it went down, we pretty much became what we are now, slaves. Reptilian agenda. I'm going to go into actually the Anunnaki a little bit, because they're pretty much the same thing. They give them ideas. During the early stages, the Anunnaki manipulated us to make us into a slave race. I think it's why we get depressed easily, why we destroy ourselves easily. They put a lot of that in us. If you're not going to do what I say, you're going to go kill yourself. They put a lot of those, DNA, structures. They said something about taking our, like 3 maybe 30 strands of DNA at that time. It took, now you have 2. So they took all that, mastered geneticists. But the reptilians, basically they can't show themselves and just start ripping everybody and getting rid of all this. There's too many people to do that with. So they do it in secret, manipulate, quiet, and that's the best way to do it. Use us and destroy each other. So basically, during time in the end of Atlantis, there were kings that they seemed to grow a liking to, I guess, for their evilness. And I guess they found some that they liked, the reptilians did, and they kind of put them under their wing, to help you take over the world, something along those lines. While everybody else got wiped out. Atlantis was they said a meteor hit Atlantis and Santorini blew up, took it down. All their power and all the super technologies went under. A lot of the technologies were scattered across the world. During Egypt, it was very positive at the beginning until everything was actually, that was the second Atlantis. With the pyramids, they did have, this was supposed to be a positive, sort of from what I gather, it's to bring the world to full density. To bring us, there's several ETs here, because after Atlantis, everybody was pretty just, we don't want to have that happening again. So this was actually very positive. They did have anti-gravity. I believe what happens is that the stones are actually pulled towards it to build it. And maybe using sound also. They built it so I don't think it's slave railroads. This is during this time, many ET races started to show themselves. This is tall white. This is a Palladian, type of Palladian. That's another type of Palladian, different type. That was kind of strange, but it's grays. This is Yin-Yo. Yin-Yo looks very, I think it's a humanistic Yin-Yo. This is the beginning, this is the early Yin-Yo. And, so yeah, it's all wearing this. Lyran, that is a feline ET. Whereas a cat, they have human bodies, but they have the cat face. They're still they're very human-like. They help build this, the Sphinx. There is a secret room underneath it. Probably for Atlantis, or the Illuminati knows all about it. They're in the earliest ages, the early times of all of this was all positive for the reptilians moved their people, let's put it that way. Long story short, all-seeing eye, that's when they started to manipulate the slave state. They started seeing the snake throughout history. They started doing a massive takeover. You see snakes all through the ancient world, even through China. This is all mostly negative. It's just a takeover of society, basically. And religion is kind of a demonic thing. We're going to that. This is. I don't think they do this. They don't control them, but they do it through telepathy. That's another thing. ETs use telepathy to control senators and stuff like that. They don't actually walk around and control them like that. It's not everybody. It's only certain ones. The Great Company is definitely looking at something around these lines. I don't know if you're familiar with dark entities and they want to kill this person. They're very competitive. They want to do this thing over and over. And the reptilians are a little bit more, they're sinister, they're a little bit more just clever, more creative, let's put it that way. This is Nevada desert. This is, of course, we're back to our times now. A lot of them hide underneath the desert areas, climate around the world. Nevada's desert there's a huge basis of different reptilians, positive, negative. Washington, D.C. is several underground there. George, this guy, I don't think he's a reptilian. He does have reptilian blood, not reptilian. Does not. I think he can shift a little bit. I think he wanted to. Daddy Bush. Shift, yeah, maybe he can. A lot of evil behind this guy. You don't see that. It's not public. There's a lot of darkness around him. You know, I wouldn't put anything past him. He's living forever. Like he's almost 100, I think. So, but I don't think they don't shift down. So he's not a reptilian. That's all. You know, before they don't exactly do. You know, they don't. Putin's actually the one known for President Putin in Russia. They're not doing this, but they do use telepathy to control. And Putin has a lot of reptilians around him right now. Just because they can. You become powerful. The White House. Long story short, if you're there's like an ET room underground, where someone show up as their full form. They do their diplomatic talks. You know, the president does not know. Like Obama, I don't think he knows about ETs. He might have talked to him, but he doesn't know that he's talked to one. They're in human form. Pentagon, just ET activity here all the time. Underground mostly. They show up in their full form, but Tony shows in their regular form. They come here to diplomatic talks all the time. The Secretary of State, any of them, they know about it. They're not reptilians. They aren't reptilians, but they do talk to them. They do talk to ETs all the time, positive and negative. Trying to make negotiations. Who's going to do what exactly? Edwards Air Force Base. Reptilians love the Air Force Base. They love jets. A lot of they go in human form. Edwards, that's definitely one of their places where they have sightings of them if they get mad. They're always on. There's too many different agendas that actually say exactly what they're up to. Kardashians. Had to go there because the Illuminati is a lot like this. And come to think of it, these guys are trying to become a part of it, but they're kind of. They don't have what it takes. Let's put it that way. But Illuminati is very much, they're always fighting among each other. It's a lot more sinister, black magic goes on within the Illuminati. But these guys are kind of like one of these. But if you don't believe in this stuff, just look at these guys. It's not, I mean, this is like, if there's anything, it's like a lower level of this elite, that would be this, something like this. You know, again, sex change operations every week, and just don't know. You know, they're always crying about something. That's the lower levels. The higher levels are nothing like that. This is the different families: Rothschild, Astor, Bundy, Ted Bundy, Rockefeller, Disney. These names change over time. Bill Gates is part of it. Not necessarily. If you have, so like Bill Gates, he's not necessarily. He's not part of the bloodline. If you make a business makes a lot of money. Illuminati moves in, give you invest in your company, they slowly, bring you in. Not necessarily you're going to become a part of their organization, but if a CEO or like someone like Bill Gates that still runs this company, that means he's working with them because if they want your company, they'll take it over. They'll just throw you out. They'll take a full takeover. Galileo said the world's flat. Sure, I'll put that there for, well, it's obviously not flat. So tell me that Illuminati doesn't exist, ATs don't exist. People are controlling the world, I'll let you think that. This is during, our history is filled with war, Christians. Figured we had nothing but darkness after Atlantis. Everything kind of went down after the Roman Empire went down. Some war and famine. From what I gathered from the reptilians, there's like a feast for them. They don't eat us anymore because they don't taste good. But back then, I guess we did. But we go after children now, but not always. But some do for their energy. This is Army Reveals. It has a flying disc found on ranch in New Mexico. It's another raise. This is definitely a cover-up. It was shot down by another ET race, most likely. This started our black projects. They took over, they took the Greys that were on the ship, did all kinds of disgusting things to them. Took their ship and reverse engineered their ship, made a deal with the Greys. Now these were kind of the Greys got kind of mad at our government because we didn't keep our promise. So they kind of back and forth bickering, backstabbing back and forth between them. There's a video on YouTube called Alien Bob. It's actually a video of an ET with a big head, and you actually see a crashed ship with a gray on the ground. And he's walking around and he's doing tests and all that. So he's seeing what his IQ is or something around those lines. It was supposed to be videoed, and they were videoing him anyway. And they actually showed footage of him walking around, laughing. It's like, it looks pretty legit. And another psychic brought this up, that's how I found out about it. It's this is a legit psychic, so and the video does look legit, so it's pretty
Did you say Alien Bob?
Yeah, it's Bob. It's on the government file. Everyone says on the video, Bob. It's like, so, Black Project, yeah, the Gray started the Black Project, our government started the Black Project, the Stealth Bomber, just the underground bases, the other ET races have their bases underground, built by our government. Basically, any conspiracy think of them taking our guns, any kind of, that was the scenario they were planning. Take our guns, microchip us, all that was in the works. It hasn't worked out, luckily. Human bases on Mars, definitely, actually I believe, I'm going to go into this in another talk, because Mars is definitely, there is humans there, there's whistleblowers that are talking about, there's wars with reptilians that want to take over Mars, and just it sounds like science fiction, but not necessarily. What I've gathered is the elite. These are the ones that are at the top. The ones don't have a name. They're not Rockefeller. They're at the top. Ones that no one knows really who they are. They don't go to these secret meetings that are known in public. They do go to meetings, but not in public. It's evil. It's and they think they're doing us a favor by enslaving us and doing whatever they want with us. I believe they have been on Mars themselves. That's where they like to go and put their hair down and do whatever they want. Plan the destruction of Earth on Mars. It sounds crazy, but they're not telling us a lot of stuff right now, so chances of that are pretty high. But there's definitely activity over there. I'll leave them to that. Black Projects, this is their reverse engineering, that saucer. It's an alien, it's an alien disc. That's American made, or Black Project made. Another thing about Black Projects, mortgage money goes into Black Projects, which I'll tell you that. And also drug dealing, CIA drug dealing, that's not going to talk about that either. That funds Black Projects. Men in Black. There's two different what I gather is two, I'm going to go with my version of it. There's two different organizations. There's one for reptilians use to cover up what they're doing, and the government has another version of what Men in Black cover up what they're doing. And if the Greys get out of hand, because the Greys go after Men in Black all the time, because the government's always lying to them, so there's a lot going on that you don't see. And they can move, they are half man, half human. More alien because they can go into fourth density, because they can show up in their car, look at you, and then disappear. And Dan Aykroyd has a video of that. He's on the phone, he's making an alien documentary, he sees these guys in black in the car looking right at him, he looks away, he looks back there and gone. This is from Dan Aykroyd, he was a movie actor. I don't think he's lying about that.
I think he said he's seen him before.
This is on YouTube, I found it, I didn't know it was this is another, I forgot his name, he works for Lockheed Martin, and I guess an alien or something like that. I took a picture. It's just more alien evidence. This is the elite around the world. This is Skull and Bones, secret society in Yale. One of the presidents, Bush and Kerry, when they were running, that came out about them being part of Skull and Bones. So a secret society, they can't talk about it, but yet media still doesn't. Only one media journalist really brought it up. He died not too long after that. So who knows? But yeah, it's all just a big flood, basically. You say this is freedom, you say it's not really. Yeah, this is not good. They're doing abductions. They used to do abductions. They still probably do. For alien abductions, is one of the Greys. There's a story about the Greys. They can't reproduce anymore, so they abduct us to try to keep their species alive. One thing about the Greys is that a lot of them are clones because they can't reproduce anymore. So they create a clone. When the Grey dies, they take his soul and put it in the clone. That's the story on that. So I can't read these guys for anything. So I'm not. Oh yeah, let's put it that way. 9/11. I want to go into a little bit of this. Reading I did on 9/11 is it was supposed to be before 2011. Kind of got setback. The main agenda behind that was, from what I gathered, was to microchip the population. But that didn't work out. So they do that with our phones. They trace us with that more than they didn't really plan for that. But that was the agenda. It didn't actually go to plan exactly. As I mentioned, Bush, he's really running the world. I don't think so. He did. I want to talk about the election real quick. He was their guy. That's why the whole thing with Gore and him. He was their guy. This isn't on YouTube, but I remember they were saying a story about when he was governor before he started running for president. He said he wanted to become president. They said they were actually going to offer him the job. It's like it was on CBS or something like that. They actually going to give him the job. Well, who cares about the election? And sure enough, he got it. So he was their man for the whole thing. That was another thing I want to bring up. Because they think that he knew about 9/11. I don't think he did. Cheney did. He knew something was going on. Let's put it that way. I don't think Bush had any idea at all. Cheney knew something about it when it happened, obviously. So that's what they were thinking. And even with Bush, when he heard about what was going on, it's like, okay, now I know what I have to do. Basically, he was just their man. And of course, after 9/11, we got the NSA. That was activated. They spun on everything. That was definitely one of the agendas, and that's been working out pretty good. And they can do. They don't need the NSA to spy on. That was another thing about the NSA. One of the reasons for that is that normal people, they're not really worried about. It's people that go rogue on the government. People that, they're trusting for a while, and they go against the government, they go against what they want, so they can go through all the records and track them and take them out or do whatever, destroy them. So, that's basically one of the reasons for tracking everybody. It's people that go rogue against them, they can find you, they can get rid of you. That's one of the reasons to global depopulation. Yes, definitely they want to depopulate us. Notice how, everybody's sick because of the chemtrails in the skies, poison in the food. They don't want you to, they don't want you to have kids. They don't want people to bring kids into the world because because this is their world. They don't want you here. So if you're going to come here, they're going to make it real difficult for you. That's their agenda. Reptilian agenda, Illuminati agenda. So if you're going to come here, we're going to beat you up. That's why they say a lot of souls only come here because all that's going on. They're going to make it real difficult, make birth difficult. And if you do survive all of what they're doing, they're going to make your old age difficult. Or like Alzheimer's, and they have a cure for all this stuff. Cancer, AIDS, they have cures for all this. AIDS was made by, that was definitely man-made. And when I did, I was going to add this to this, but AIDS was, they didn't expect it to go away and win. There was an experiment, they're going to use it against their enemies, and it just blew up. They didn't even see that coming, but they don't have a problem with that. They're all for it. Al Gore with his global warming. Not much to say about that. Go back to sleep. Government has everything under control. That's pretty much how it works, isn't it? Government censorship, protecting you from reality, TV. Another thing about television, about the news. You can read a newspaper, and it has negativity, but it doesn't affect you as much as watching television and watching newscasters talk. Because when they're talking, they're like throwing darts at you, like negative, and they take you down. You're in a high state, it just takes you down. The whole idea of we're being negatively attacked. So, if that's another thing about the grid that we have around us. It's the media. If the media doesn't work to bring you down, well, the education system, use that against you. If that doesn't work, we have video games, movies. We're going to keep throwing negativity. Notice how video games is all about killing people. It's like, does that make any sense? I mean, that's just laughing at the innocence.
There's some truth hidden in some of those games, though, if you play like the RPGs about like Fable, for instance. But they'll give it a name like Fable, so you think it's fake. But if you look at their like Albion, that's what England used to be called, and they have the orbs and I love it. I'm sorry.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, nice. But yeah, it's all just a negative control grid to keep us at a low level. Vaccines, vaccines definitely, which you can't avoid. Of course, in the military they get vaccinated. I don't know what they're putting. Disformations. That's another thing when babies are born and disformed a little bit from vaccinations or military. Actually, I know of a friend of mine at work whose niece had a kid, and his baby's head's kind of not right, so they had to put a hat on him or a clamp on his head so his head will grow normal. So if you're going to come to this world, they're not going to make it easy for you. There's hypnosis, that's pretty funny, the sheep, I mean, I think Bill O'Reilly, I think they're good people. It's just what they're doing is just, it's not, they're not monsters, but, what they're doing is not very, it's not helping us. They're informing you, but it's all negative energy. This is the Illuminati structure. Of course, you can't read all of this. I can't even read all this, but this is how they work with the pyramid. These are different moves up. Global elite, you don't know who they are. It's always that's in the shadows. Sorry about all that, but anyway, you can find that online. Oh yeah, this was a funny one. I was doing a reading about Egypt. Hillary Clinton came up saying, "Why does Hillary Clinton come?" I'm not doing a reading on Hillary Clinton. What I got was during Atlantis. I figured I'd put this up. It's pretty funny. During Atlantis, she was a female. She wasn't very. She was kind of corrupt. She was very intelligent, like now, very intelligent, but kind of shady, And the men during Atlantis' time just wouldn't listen to her. She had all these great ideas. All men just said, "Shut up, just get out of the way." So, she was all mad about that. So now, presently, we're lucky us. So she couldn't do it through any other time. So she came back now to show the world what she's capable of. So she's giving us her wrath. She was really intelligent, but it was pretty fun. She was beautiful, like a beautiful, like empress of something like that during Atlantis, and she couldn't get her away from anything. So she came back now, and now she's all in our watch. She's smart. She's got that.
She's going for president.
Yeah, for real. This is, I'm pretty sure this is like a reptilian. This is on the internet, I found it. It could be a fish, a weird fish, but I don't think so. They're not pretty. I figure I might as well put it out there. It's like they don't make themselves known at all. They don't want to be seen, but I might as well put it out there for viewing. But that's pretty funny. I don't know where this is. It's somewhere in Europe. Now they're all underground.
I mean, you gotta be respectful.
So, but yeah, there's a positive note basically. Is that positive ETs are here, they're helping with the weather. We're destroying our planet, not because we want to. This is, they're helping us. There are negative ones here, but there are positives helping us. right now they're talking to me, they're talking to others. I can channel their energies. And most, I'm even talking to a reptilian. That's a positive reptilian. It's like, anyway, it's crazy. But there's a lot of weird out there. And this basically this is information. It's like there's a lot of strange out there. And see, like these like psychiatrists, are, hear what I'm saying and give me a pill or something like that. But if they see like a ship come down and an alien from their favorite Star Wars movie comes out, they'll be running crazy. So basically, it's just there's a lot of weird out there. That's why another reason why they don't show themselves, because they look strange. There's a lot of, you can just imagine strange. Look at our oceans. Look at the giraffes and all that. There's an ET to all those animals. So, and here we're human, and a lot of them are humanoid. So like the Wyverns have their head is their face is a cat. So it's basically put this information out there. The first contact is coming as of 2027. It's hard to say, but out with the old and with the new. So I don't know. Hopefully, get more information from that. But basically, as we're moving into the fourth density level, from 300 to 400 years, we're going to go into a. That's when we're going to hit fourth density. It's going to take a while. It's not going to happen overnight. But telepathy is slowly. One thing about if you connect with your psychic ability is to know people's intent. It's like, are they, is it negative or is it positive? And this is to protect yourself. So connecting to your guide is really, it's a positive. The whole thing is positive. And that's fourth density, something around those lines. So, fourth density is it's a very spiritual level. Negativity is a very small rate. And there is a positive timeline, so, but basically just this information out there to, more of this out there, the better. These the Pleiadians look like practically similar to us in many ways. There are a lot of communities online you can talk to. If you feel like you're not from here, chances are you're not. There's a lot of hybrid. We all have like a little bit of ET in all of us. It's called hybrid. We're all hybrids. It's something. That's another talk. That's just weird. We all Yanyel, or that's where the Jewish religion comes from. And and they're very artistic. Notice how a lot of actors are Jewish. Not to say they're all from another planet. We all have hybrid, like Yanyel hybrid in their DNA. It's very strange. I don't understand all of it, but anyway, we're going to a positive light. Once we hit fourth density, we're going to be able to manifest all kinds of. We're going to be able to, if I feel, we're going to take the universe to another level. So, we see right now startups and all that. We're going to be like, because we're a little bit of everybody. So we're going to take the universe to another level. Unfortunately, there's going to be a dark side. We're going to have some negative on. That just like reptilians, we have all this power, now we can go around and mess with people. So we're gonna have that. But for the end story is basically, there's a positive road. It's gonna take a while to get there. There are gonna be some bumps, but that's it. So, any questions? Is that right?
I have a question. You didn't say anything about FEMA camps. Are they part of Blackwater?
Blackwater, they are part of the it's part
of the agenda.
Part of the agenda. Every conspiracy theory you hear is definitely there's truth behind it. Doesn't mean they can do it, but they want to do it.
But do you believe they do exist?
Oh yeah. They do. They put people in camps now. Mm-hmm. They just don't talk about it. Yeah. But I think they're being stopped. That's why we have positive ETs around us, positive spirits, spirit guides. That's why we're still here. From what I've heard is like, if it wasn't for positive ETs, this planet would be going on. Where we're oil drilling, fossil fuels in the air. So we have positive.
You mentioned in the beginning that you do channel. So what have you channeled from them?
From
the ET?
I channel different ones. my channel to 2026, 2027, channel that. And that's definitely not set in stone, but it's on the agenda.
Okay, you channel it, but have you confirmed it through the internet?
Yeah. That's all. I can channel different. Yeah. Reptilian. Basically, I'm leaving myself as an open channel now to whoever comes in. I don't know if you've heard of Bashar.
Yeah.
You heard of Bashar? He's
No, I
like,
haven't.
he's been around for 30 years. I should have brought a picture of him. He's been around for 30 years. He's been. He's kind of like a Mexican-looking guy. And an alien comes in.
Bald head.
It's bald head. Yeah. He's an alien from the future. He's talking about, tells us about 2030, about contact. And I pick up Bashar's name.
What's his name?
Bashar.
Bashar,
Yeah, it's a B-A-S-H-E-R. Another one is a human colony. That's another one. They channel different ETs. That's where the 2027 came from.
Are there any, like sightings that you could go to?
Not
Here?
Not here.
I've heard that in Mexico they have that.
Oh yeah. He's in Florida. for a while.
I've heard of people I interviewed. There was a lady that is part of MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network. She says there's a lot of alien activity in St. Petersburg. There's a lot of activity in Brandon. And I don't know the exact sites, and I've asked her to call me because I want to go and check it out and take out a video.
Yeah.
I haven't received a call yet, and I also haven't followed up. But if I do follow up, well, when I follow up, I'll put it up on YouTube.
And anybody can go?
Absolutely.
You don't channel the grays at all.
I tried to.
When I was sitting here and you said that they communicate with the frequency beep sort of, I heard it twice, once in this ear and in this ear. The problem with that is it's not in English and I don't know what the heck to make of it. You know what I mean?
Kind of let you know that they're there.
They're just like
Yeah.
listening, yeah, we're here.
When I started picking up on ETs, I started hearing that.
But they're not bad, they were tricked. Because
Yeah.
they wanted us to disarm our nukes, right? And we didn't want to.
Yeah, there is a negative, group. There's always a negative group, but not all of them are negative.
Probably some of the clones are.
Yeah, there is there's negative groups, but they have been manipulated. They say by the reptilians. So yeah, but I don't think they're all bad. The more I'm doing this, the more I feel like no, they're not.
Right.
But they're hard to read. They just don't want to be underdogs. I can't get a yes or a no out of any of that. So that's what I'm kind of, but yeah, I think the majority of them are fine. They're around India, they're around China. I say the Chinese come from grays because they're eyes.
My husband is Indonesian, and I swear his face, the bone structure of it, I'm not trying to be, but he's good looking, in his ways, but his face is like right here where the second group of gray aliens that you showed me.
Yeah.
Not the first one that has that sharp thing.
Yeah, they're all different.
All right, well, we want to thank everyone for coming, and whoever wants to leave, go right ahead, and anyone that wants to continue with questions,
Yeah,
with
we have
Ben,
30 more minutes here.
I haven't, just go ahead and ask anything. But thank you so much for coming. We're going to have another lecture on the 21st. You can go to magicdoor.org.